Hi guys. Hey,
It
welcome.
kind of matches Troy's.
Well, welcome to Thursday
Oh
Night
my God.
Training. And my name is Rick Green, and we have Troy with us tonight. We are going to cover a couple of things, and I'm glad you're here, Troy. Hopefully everything went well today with you guys. So we wanted to go over a couple of things that we thought was very important, and hopefully we're not going to take up a whole bunch of time, but one thing that I wanted to talk about was the map. And maybe you don't know what the map is, maybe you're not familiar with that, but the map is the monthly action plan. And the monthly action plan, you should have that filled out so that you can know the direction that you want to take your business. And with that, it's also going to give you something that you're going to be able to physically look at and track where you're at on a daily basis. So if you haven't looked at this, it's in your Office in Motion in your document library. It's very easy to come up with. And I'm going to go ahead and do a share screen about the monthly action plan. And I'd like Troy to take a few minutes and kind of go over the highlights with us and why it's important in our business that we should utilize this, okay? So I'm going to bring this up and show you what we've got going on. So Troy, can you see that?
Yeah, you always throw me in the mix, don't you?
Well, I know I have to.
That's fine. Okay, so first of all, maybe a show of hands. How many are using that map right now in their business? I didn't see any hands go up. Okay. No. Maybe Rick is okay. Okay, so if we kind of look at the map, you know, monthly action plan, just like it says. So what we're wanting to do, and a lot of this will definitely, we want to pertain to senior coach and above. So if you're not a senior coach yet, it's probably not going to pertain to you yet. So as we look at the map, on the left-hand side, you will notice that basically we have our list of our B-Slim. So B-Slim, of course, is our clients that are on plan right now, or maybe even maintenance. Maybe they're ordering every other month. So we want to get to you know, the 23. 23 is going to be, even if you have a couple people that are on maintenance, that'll still help you get to that 6,000 in your frontline volume. So as we look at that, each month and the beginning of the month is when you're wanting to basically go through the map with your business coach. And so that way we kind of know going through the month what you have, the game plan you have for, maybe you're at a, you know, maybe you're a senior level and maybe you're wanting to go to a manager. So we know that you know, probably in turn about another 4 or 5 clients. If you're at 5 clients at that time at a senior level. So as we kind of fill this up, we look on the left-hand side, because as obviously you are putting on clients, a lot of those clients will want to probably pay it forward. We statistically 1 out of 5. So if we look at that on the right-hand side of this, we want to look at our senior coaches. So as we start, obviously where Rick's got that cursor there, we're looking at the coach, and then we're wanting to help them with their first 5. So as we look at that, and with that being said, if we look kind of below the where the 5 potential coaches would be, or basically hopefully eventually that will fill you in to an FIBC, which is really where you want to be, fully integrated business coach. You have your top 10 health coaches. And really where you're wanting to fill that in is thinking about the people that they might not even be clients at this time. Maybe they're a potential client or potential coach. So obviously there's 2 spots for that. But if we look at the top 10 health coach candidates, those might come a lot from your B-Slim, because maybe you've got a few here, a few there, or maybe, like I say, you know, usually statistically it's 1 out of 5 that you will see. Maybe your number's a little bit higher just because of the fact that maybe you're a newer coach. So as we look at this, and as we look a little farther to the left, Rick, go a little lower on the map here, lower left hand. We've got our top 10 candidates, and obviously that'd be our top 10 client candidates. So, you know, from this really gives you that structure. And so if you kind of follow through the month and you think, well, maybe I've got, you know, maybe you're at an executive director level, but maybe this is, you know, what are we in December? So we're looking at, maybe you've got a few that have fallen off and you're thinking to yourself, well, I got to know kind of where I'm at. So a map gives you a really good understanding. Of course, this also is on Coach to Health, and it is in your Office in Motion in the library. You can find it there. It is writable to where you can go in and you can start just punch it in. You don't have to print this out and you know, go ahead and fill it out at that point. You can fill it out beforehand. But what I really like about this is that it gives you structure in your business. Now the Millers have been using this for a little over a year now. And what I think is important is that if you're utilizing your coaching business as a business, then you really need to put a point to the things that you're doing and structures to where you can really see the timeline of what you want to create in your business. Because if you really don't have, maybe I'll, you know, put a couple here, a couple there, the problem is that's not sustainable. And so if we bring that and really, you go through this with your business coach or your business leader, depending upon where you're at, you know, the important thing to really understand through this process is that we want to get you to where you're FIBC, then you can go on to another form, which is kind of cool. And obviously we're not showing that tonight, but that'll be in more of the leaders. So, you know, if we really look, Rick and everybody on the call tonight, if we really look on you know, what MAP brings to your business, in my mind, it just brings that structure and that urgency of what you're wanting to create for the month. Now, it doesn't mean you have to be an FIBC in a month or 2 months. It's not what it means. What it means is that you're able to, as you gradually going through the process each month, you can have this, print this out first part of the month. And if it's not filled up, you're starting to fill that up. Maybe in your top 10 candidates, maybe you only have 2 or 3 in there, but as the month goes on, you're adding more and more people, and that way you're following up with these individuals. So, you know, I definitely, that's something that is important to anybody's health coach business as they're progressing, and as, of course, kind of put to the part of, you know, your senior coach or better when you're using a map. You got anybody have any questions on the map? Because, you know, that's, and the reason why we're kind of going through this again is because I know I went through it maybe 2-3 weeks ago. It might even been a month ago. But I want to know, I'm going to really talk about this more and more until people really get that. I want them to understand what this map's about and how to utilize this tool that we're able to utilize in our coach business.
Well, I would like to say something. Is that okay?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. You know, the thing that we're looking at over on the right-hand side too is the recommended daily high leverage activities. And it sits there. If you have this in front of you on a daily basis and you look at that box and you look at, I lead with my health first. I'm moving forward. I'm moving my health forward. And with that, you know, you're prioritizing your time for your business. All of these things are exactly, they're great reminders, first off, of what we should be doing. The second thing is, as you know, if you check off that box, you know that you're actually doing it. It's an action step. And one of the things that I really look at is following up with 5 clients or 5 candidates. You know, touching those 5 every day. It might not, and it really is designed to not have the same 5, but you're reaching out to 5 people. Connecting with at least one person, a client or a candidate, to sign up as a health coach. Well, you know, if you're thinking about becoming a health coach, you know, that's not going to be something that would apply. But think about this: it's dripping on yourself that you know where you're going to take your business pretty soon. You're going to have other coaches that you're going to be working with as well. And I conduct at least one mentorship call to help my health coaches establish their action plans, check their progress. What you're doing, of course, with that is you're again building support for those people around you as well as yourself. I post on Facebook daily. We all do that. We post on Facebook daily, and it goes right back to where it said the number 2 is I prioritize my time for the business. So really a word of caution, Facebook can be a time sucker if you allow it to be, or it can work on your benefit on the benefit side of things if you spend 10 or 15 minutes and you're dedicating that to making strategic posts, things that are important to you, and not just arbitrarily copying and pasting those things that you've seen throughout the day, but in actuality making good judgment calls on what you want to share. And so I think that the high leverage activities that you select, and it may not be everything that's on here, but the ones that are important are going to be the first 3, and those are really going to move your business forward as well.
And the other thing too, Rick, I didn't really mean to interrupt you, but the other one thing is that talking about Facebook, a couple different ways. Using Buffer or Hootsuite is a good way because it kind of takes you out of, you don't have to go on Facebook every time. And so it kind of gives you that structure and helps you understand, through that week that you have maybe a post a day that's automatically posting for you, versus maybe being on there every day and maybe just getting, sidetracked because the fact that maybe you're looking at somebody else's post or something else and you're not really, being mindful on what you're doing on Facebook. So using it as your business.
And that's a great point, Troy, but a lot of people maybe not, they may not be familiar with what Hootsuite or Buffer can do for them. So let me just take a minute and explain what those 2 applications are.
Well, the other thing too, Rick, is anybody can always YouTube that. I mean, it goes through step by step. The one really cool thing I like about YouTube is that it's pretty in depth on how to use it. But go ahead, Rick. That's
okay. Well, I was just gonna do a real quick highlight on this. Okay.
Sure.
So both of those applications basically do the same thing. They post on your Facebook page, but you don't actually have to do the posting. You do have to take the time and load it up with what you want, and then you can set the time for the posting. So basically, a person can take a few minutes and put 5 or 6 posts into, let's say, a Buffer. And what that does is then you can set the times as to when you want those posts. And then you can go about your business and do other things, and it will automatically put things on your Facebook page, and you don't even have to be around to have that happen. The other thing is attached to the monthly action plan. Down on the bottom is a contact worksheet, and you can fill this out. And there's plenty of space for lots of names. But the thing that you would like to do, ultimately, of course, if you're thinking about becoming a coach or a coach now, fill those names in and put the date as to when you contacted them, and maybe make some notes as to what you talked about. Maybe they were interested in, what is the plan all about, and make a note as to what you spoke with them about this. And then you would also want to give it a follow-up date. And it might be 2 or 3 days from the time that you talked with them to a week or next month. I have people that have I've talked with, and they said, you know what, I'm thinking about doing this, but it's not the right time, and I'm going to do something in January. So those people right there are going to be right on the top of my list, and I'm going to be following up with them probably the end of this month, so that I'm going to get them ready to go for January. Anything else you'd like to add, Mr. Troy?
No, that's probably about it. I think what we need to maybe go over the next 5 minutes, that way we'll cut it right at to 7 o'clock, get everybody out of here. And well, of course, the well-being tracker, and that's where I was going to go next. So cool. We're going to probably touch on this a little bit because, you know, well-being tracker, in my opinion, is a very good way to, at the beginning, you know, really understand where that client's at, and through that process, you could, you know, really do a follow-up with them each week when you're following up with your clients. So the one nice thing I like about this is that it really, you know, it dials everything in, every detail, because you need to be detail oriented with your clients. If you are keeping everything inside your head and you're thinking you know, and as your business grows, that's not going to work, and that's not duplicatable for the people that you're going to bring on. So always understanding that the well-being tracker is a really good spot to really guide and assist your clients through that process.
And with that, you can start using the well-being tracker for anyone that you have talked with. I recommend doing that because, like Troy was saying, you know, you're not going to remember everything about every conversation that you've ever had with people that are interested in what you're doing. So this is a great way to get their contact information. Not only that, is you have done a three-way phone call, a mentoring call with them. And in going through that, you will be able to identify what their healthy mind, healthy body, healthy finances are at, where they're at, so that it will bring the focus to what they really want. So remember, we're not just a diet company. We are an optimal health company. And so what we want to do is we really want to take people to their better wellness and not just have them doing a diet. So with that, they've looked at, or we're looking at doing the well-being evaluation and getting what their score is. And remember, when they're doing this, it's their score, their numbers. So they've identified where they're at. So we can help them move one part of their health or all of their health forward. So whether it's a healthy mind, healthy body, or healthy finances, we can help them with that. It will help you identify what their goals are, and then once you've looked at this, ask the right questions. It will help guide them to the full fitness. And the other thing is, of course, with this, you know, you will be able to take them on their journey and be able to assist them with anything that they might ask of you. There's plenty of room for notes, and there's also their contact when you have talked with them, whether they're up or down in their pounds on their weight loss journey, and it gives you plenty of room for notes. These are all available, again, back in the Office in Motion in the document library, or you can download them and keep them on your desktop. And I know some coaches do this. They go ahead and print it out, and so that they have you know, a file for each individual person that they've spoken with.
And the other thing too, Rick, is that the cool thing about what I like about the challenge, I don't know if everybody is participating in the challenge right now, but they use the wellness, not the wellness, but they use the, well, you actually
Survey.
did. They use the survey, yeah. And it gave me, so obviously it sends you an email when they do that, but it sees actually where their healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finance is at, where they think it's at. And it's really cool. I don't know. I strongly recommend all coaches using this for, just like Rick is saying, for clients or even potential, because it gives you that basis of, when you're following up, just like Rick said at the bottom there, you're able to do the follow-up and write the notes, and that way you know where each individual is at, and as you're following up with them, you're making notes on that.
And one of the biggest things that you will be able to go through, and once you've talked with your pre-client or client, the notes that you make, the biggest reason for achieving optimal health. You know, sometimes they get on their journey and they lose focus. And once you have written that down, and they might wander off the track a little bit. You can always go back to that and remind them. Remember when we talked about this? You talked about achieving optimal health, and these are the reasons why you stated to me what you wanted to do. Remember those? Remember that conversation? Oh, yeah. I remember that conversation. Well, I'm just here to help you remember so that I can keep you on point, on purpose all the time. So it's a great tool because, you know, people forget, but paper remembers. So if you take anything away from this tonight, it's the fact that you need to write this stuff down, because there's hundreds of people out there that you're going to come in contact with and wonder what you're doing, and you're going to want to make copious notes on that so that you will always have that arsenal. You can pull this out. This is another tool. Hey, remember when. So.
Yeah, really good point, Rick. Last but not least, last thing I want to talk about, you don't have to share a screen more, Rick. Last thing I want to talk about is that the A-Team call is coming up Saturday. I know Rick, are you still doing a 7:00 a.m. with people that are wanting to?
Awesome. I am. I've been doing that. Yes.
Okay, good. I wanted to real quick just kind of let everybody know that for the A-Team call now, I have an A-Team YouTube channel that you guys are able to subscribe to. So the cool thing about this is that we're going to be doing, starting Saturday, it's going to be a webinar. And the nice thing about that is that it'll all be, basically it'll all be downloaded to YouTube, and everything will be right there. So it's going to be really cool. It's going into kind of a new format, and we're kind of coming in the 21st century with a lot of this stuff. So I'm really excited about that, and definitely more to come with other things. Just like on the transformation call, I actually have a YouTube channel for that. So you're able to subscribe to that. And what that does for everybody is you're able to go in on there and say, oh, you know, I don't remember where that transformation call is. Guess what? If you subscribe to YouTube on that channel, and it's called Transformation Call, you'll actually get an email the next, usually takes 15-20 minutes after I post. You'll get an actual email that basically said that I had a new post on there. So that's just some, you know, another added bonus that's coming up that I should say that it's here now, that really is going to help a lot of people bring that structure to where you guys are not, you know, trying to find things everywhere.
Well, think about it. You know, we're all over the country. I mean, we're not just local. We're not just, we're not meeting at our house anymore and having, healthy happy hour. We are all over. And, the other thing that we should probably start thinking about is on January the 9th, when we have Dr. A and Dan Bell doing their Zoom. That's coming up. So we're going to launch some more information with that too. So I'm excited about this as well. So our super regional is going to be on Zoom this year.
And there'll be more to follow. Hopefully on our leadership call on Monday night, they're going to be talking about that. I hope. I don't know that to be true, but I know they're in the works of getting everything kind of ironed out to where we kind of understand what to expect on the 9th of January, and that way we can kind of get everybody to come together in a fashion to where we can basically share with a lot of people. And I know there'll be 3 different time zones, so it'll be Pacific, Central, and Eastern. So there will be 3 time zones for sure on that.
Thanks, Troy. Anybody have any questions about what we've gone over? Go ahead and raise your hand. Let me see if I can catch everybody. Chris, go ahead.
So I had a question on the well-being tracker. Is everyone filling out one of the well-being evaluation forms with that, or are you just asking general physical questions, mind questions, and financial questions to kind of gauge where they're at from 0 to 60?
Troy?
Yeah. So, there's a couple different ways to look at that, Chris. Well-being, the well-being in my mind is one of two ways. You can have them go through that and fill everything out in the understanding that you're doing the well-being evaluation along with the well-being tracker. It depend upon time, it depends upon time, because the well-being evaluation does take a little bit of time. So it just kind of depends upon, I like to see it every time. If you make that time with that client, it is good. Not to say, because the well-being evaluation really brings a lot of things out for a client or potential client, right? Because we really get to know the whole trilogy of what they're looking for and what's the fit. Maybe they have the healthy body, maybe they have the healthy mind, but maybe not the healthy finances.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Thanks, Chris. Anybody else have a question? And at this point, no? Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys stopping by and taking the time out to join us. And those people that have decided that they want to become a coach that are on the call tonight. And I would like to see you guys reach up to your health coach or your business coach. And if you have any particular questions, let us answer those for you. So I know that it might be a little overwhelming if you're on the Zoom and you've got questions, but you've got people that are supporting your journey, and you've got people that are going to support you while you're doing the business. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach up and give us a call. All right. Well, that's all I've got. Thank you. And we are going to be doing the Saturday morning training, 7 o'clock Pacific. And I'll post out there that you can join up on that if you'd like. I know that there's a couple of people that don't or are not subscribed to Coach to Health yet, but if you'd like to join me and talking about some things, I would be welcome to have you there. So that's all I've got. Do you want to close up with anything else, Troy? Nope, guess he's not. All right, guys. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.